All right, Aquarians, the challenge around for you in October, a lot of you may be dealing with secrets. And this could be you or somebody else. And it's just, and this has to do a lot of you with family. I think it's going to be around family. Maybe there's gossip going on or internet drama with family, and people trying to hide things from you, or maybe, again, it can work both ways always. Maybe you're trying to hide something from someone else. But for a lot of you, this will involve you and two other people, because we have the Three of Pentacles here. Now, this can also be work with Pentacles. This could be a work situation involving a project. Maybe you're working on two other people, and you feel like somebody is, either hiding something. Maybe they're stealing your ideas. Maybe they're telling the boss that, ideas that were yours were theirs. Something like that. I mean, there can involve somebody definitely using some deception here. And you may feel like, if you confront it, somebody will say you're stirring up drama, you're causing problems, when really it's this other person. So your challenge is going to be kind of figuring out how to handle this situation, Aquarius, in October, whether it be family or business. For most of you, I feel like it's the other person stirring up stuff and saying, telling lies behind your back or making things up. Somebody's really got a really rich fantasy going on about the reality of a situation, which is not really reality at all. So, I mean, that's your challenge, is to kind of get the truth to come out, or figure out how you can manipulate this situation to your own advantage. Sometimes we have to do that. We have to deal with somebody on their level. Because if you feel like you just kind of out this person to the boss, and then it'll be like, maybe it'll make you look like you're the one causing problems. So, if it is a situation where it's your ideas, just make sure you go to the boss with this and be like, hey, I just wanted you to know that I kind of feel like somebody may be trying to undermine my creative contribution here. And I just, I wanted to make sure that you know who came up with this, and just kind of laugh it off. But because it's coming up in the challenge, it does seem like this is going to take some thought for you, Aquarius, but you can figure it out. You know people so well. You are the humanitarians of the zodiac. You do understand human nature. You have insight into that, and real empathy. So it does seem like you could maybe put yourself in this person's situation, kind of figure out where they're coming from and maybe what's going on here. I do see you going after a goal. I definitely see you pursuing something and righting a wrong, trying to right a wrong with the Eight of Pentacles reversed. Again, family or job. This is a family or work situation, normally. So yeah, you're trying really hard to turn something around. But you may get frustrated, because in October with Mercury retrograde, there will be breakdowns with communication. We'll find it, delays will be rampant. Those of you who are trying to get a new situation going with work, who are trying to push something forward, may feel like you keep running into all these obstacles. That's just Mercury. It's a passing thing. It will be gone by November. So, what Mercury retrograde is good for is researching, learning, studying, finding out things. If you have to kind of maybe research a situation or catch somebody in a lie, or catch somebody who may be trying to detrimentally affect you or your position in some way. So, yeah, it's kind of like you have to work with the energy, Aquarius, in October. But you can get a lot done. It's going to be behind the scenes, though. It's going to be behind the scenes. It's almost like I see you setting a trap. They're showing me a bear trap. I don't know who you're setting a trap for, but hopefully it's not a bear, because I love bears. But, I wouldn't want to be alone with one in the forest or anything, but yeah, you know what I mean. I see you trying to set a trap for somebody. And you're just kind of waiting. Just kind of waiting. If this is another person that you are, because this rune can sometimes also represent a person. This is somebody who is steadfast in their viewpoint, even though it may be wrong. It may be there may be a lot of holes in their theory. There may be a lot of holes in what they're telling you. This is somebody who's remaining steadfast. But I feel like there's a veil here, Aquarius. What's being given to you or what's being told to you is not the full truth. And again, we go back to this mystery rune or the rune of secrets, with somebody withholding information from you, trying to hide something. There's a veneer or a veil. You're only getting part of the information. And you know that. You sense that in October. So yeah, it seems like you have to set some sort of trap or some sort of elaborate plan to find out what's really going on with someone. That's another way this can work. Help that's going to be available to you is doing things in a very untraditional way is only going to help you in October. So it's the way that you normally wouldn't do things. Now, Aquarius, you normally march to the beat of your own drummer anyway, and do not care if anybody follows. That is a description I saw ages ago in a book that I read about Aquarius, and it's really true with the Aquarian people that I know. That they are very just unique and leaders, but again, they don't care if anybody follows. It's just like, well, you got to do what's right for you, but this is what's right for me, and I don't really care what you think. So I mean, yeah, there is you're going to be able to easily flow with this energy, better than most in October, Aquarius, because you are so go against the grain anyway. I mean, you are used to that. You tend to thrive in situations where there is upheaval if you know it's going to lead to something better. And I feel like that may be what's going on in October. Maybe there with those eclipses, depending on where it kind of hits your houses in your natal chart, you could be experiencing upheaval in work or family situations, but it's ultimately going to lead to something better. It's not going to stay the way that it is. But the untraditional ways are going to work for you in October. So maybe if this is a relationship or a situation where you have tried things a certain way and you've been going about it and handling it a certain way up until this point in October, it's time to switch it up. Obviously that wasn't working. So you're going to have to and they're showing me a game board of just somebody who just kind of knocks the table down. Because it's like, you're not playing fair, this other person. And maybe it's you, Aquarius. I would hate to think that it's you, since you're coming here to get advice for the month. Normally people who are those sorts don't generally come and seek enlightenment or advice from anyone else. But it can work both ways. But it's like you're gonna upset the game table and change the rules. Change the rules on someone. And it's high time. I feel like this is overdue for a lot of you. Maybe you've been just trying to maintain a rather tenuous situation, walk in a line, maybe trying to stay out of something, but you no longer can do that in October, Aquarius. But yeah, I mean, go about it in a totally different way. Or maybe this is just a new perspective for you. Those of you who have been trying to, if you've had to work with a bureaucratic organization or a government kind of organization, if you feel like maybe there's something being imposed on you, because this, the Hierophant in reverse can be kind of feeling like you are being imposed on, that someone is trying to kind of impose their will on you because of tradition or because of bureaucratic paperwork and things like that. Or I'm seeing forms. So it's like, well, you have to fill out this form to get this. And then you have to fill out this form and this form and this form. And it's like, can somebody just give me an answer of, if I fill out all of these forms, what it's going to bring me? And those of you, this card can also mean a severance or a divorce, because upright, it can also mean marriage and partnership. So those of you who are going through that, it's the right thing, but maybe in October you run into delays again with Mercury retrograde. That would be par for the course. But those delays will help you in some way. So just keep that in mind. It's going to ultimately lead to a victory. Don't do things in the same way, Aquarius. If it hasn't been working in October, you got to switch it up. You got to knock that game table over. What can't be changed about October? I think you're going to no longer be waiting on someone else. So in some sense, I mean, if you've been waiting on communication from someone, if you've been waiting to hear back from someone, you know, you are going to go ahead and contact them. You're going to take the initiative. You know, because again, this is kind of what can't be changed about October is the fact that there can be miscommunications. You can misunderstand someone, maybe get angry over something that was said that wasn't meant to be that way. Someone could get angry with you because maybe you said something in a way that they took it the wrong way. It wasn't the way that you meant it. So yeah, just be very clear in any communications. Especially when it comes to work and finances and money. Definitely watch your spending. Some of you may be dealing with issues with your car or transportation in October. Again, travel is also affected by Mercury retrograde. You can find delays, run into delays, things like that. Definitely check flights before you leave your home, or have kind of a plan B. You know, there may be some weather, sketchy, crazy weather that you're dealing with in October that causes delays with flights or things like that. Make sure if you're going on a trip, your tires and oil and everything has been changed. Some of you may be buying a car in October. This may come as a surprise to some of you. Maybe your car breaks down in October. So definitely have that cell phone handy. Have, you know, somebody you can call or a service that you can call if you get flat or you need help on the side of the road. Be safe. Mercury, it's all about, you know, kind of advanced planning. Just plan for the worst with Mercury as far as travel and communication, and, you know, you should be good. But yeah, you have the Three of Wands reversed here. So I feel like a lot of you, you know, you're no longer going to wait on something to come to you. You will take the initiative, but really kind of think about, it almost seems like if you communicate with somebody, if you take the initiative, you know, it's not gonna speed things up any. And again, I think that is the Mercury retrograde planet affecting that more than anything else. So some of you, this may be about a job situation. Maybe you were trying to leave. You're waiting to hear back from a place that you interviewed at, or you applied and you're trying to get an interview set up. I would say at the last week of October, if you still haven't heard anything, that's going to be a prime time because Mercury will be direct by that time to kind of maybe send out a feeler email or leave a voicemail and be like, hey, I just wanted to check in and, you know, see when we can set this up, or, you know, make sure you got my application, whatever your situation may be. Some of you may get an offer in October. As far as a job offer or an opportunity to make more money, an opportunity to move forward, maybe a proposal as far as a promotion. But it may need some work. So again, I kind of see negotiations, and that would make sense because Mercury retrograde, you don't really want to sign a contract or commit to a job unless you've interviewed for it previous to October. Things coming back from the past with Mercury retrograde is fine, but yeah, I mean, emails may just go astray and things like that. So you may have to send somebody did you get my last email? You know, that kind of thing. By the end of October, I think a lot of you Aquarians are going to be, a lot of you may not feel like going out and celebrating Halloween. I think that a lot of you will be either working alone on something. It may have to do with remodeling. It may have to do with, you know, your house, your home. There may be some sort of disruption around the home, and you have to take care of that. You know, with this rune, the money rune connected, you know, here, you know, maybe something that you're like, oh God, I don't have the money for that right now. I'm going to have to wait and fix it, but I can't really wait and fix it. So you may have to take money from another fund or somewhere else to fix that. But You know, I do feel like if you are focusing on something, you're going to find the solution. If it takes all of October to find the solution for your challenge, I mean, it's still going to come. It may be at the end. And it's going to take some alone time for you. Just kind of, sitting there by yourself and thinking of a new way to deal with a situation. And then it's going to come. I feel like a lot of you are going to get aha moments about how to handle a difficult situation or person in your working or family life. And I do think also that those of you who have to fix something around the home, if there's an unexpected expense, you're going to be okay. You're going to recoup that money next month. So try not to freak out too much about it. I do feel like in October, Aquarius, it would be good if you guys relax a little bit and maybe spend a little more time around the house contemplating things. Because I think if you allow yourself that time, you're going to figure out how to approach these challenges and deal with them when it comes to other people. And maybe it was right there all the time, the solution, and you just didn't see it because maybe you were so busy and caught up in dealing with everything else you had going. Those of you who are looking to move, some of you may be moving out. You may be leaving a situation where you've lived with someone. So maybe this was a relationship or a roommate situation. You may be going out on your own and living out on your own. And this is going to be a very positive phase for those of you who are doing that. So if you're nervous about it, maybe you've always lived with someone else. Maybe you've always lived with a boyfriend or your family or a relative or something. This is really going to be a beneficial thing for you, though. I think you're really going to love it. Most of you living on your own, not having to answer to anyone, doing your own thing. It may be the expense of it that's making some of you nervous. But, you're going to figure that out again. And I feel like the solution will come to you towards the end of the month.